There are many facets to the definition of cyber threat intelligence. Ultimately, intelligence can only be developed by the human mind, but it is created from the data which is collected by the threat intelligence programs. These threat intelligence programs gather and create an in depth analysis of potential computer and network security threats to any organization. Threat intelligence is able to examine threats facing one organization, or if the threat is more sophisticated, they can cast a wider net and involve other organizations, such as the RCISC. Organizations such as the RCISC are beneficial within the intelligence community because cooperation between organizations is paramount in some cases. This type of cross organization cooperation has been known to enhance corporate capabilities as more data is collected during the intelligence cycle, which pertains to potential threats. This intelligence cycle is actually one of the most important aspects of intelligence as it explains how the intelligence comes to be. The intelligence cycle, as depicted, shows that there is an ever flowing circle during which the data is gathered, filtered to information, and eventually becomes intelligence, whether actionable or not. The cycle typically begins at the planning and requirements phase and ends with the dissemination and integration phases. After that quote unquote final stage, this then feeds back into the planning and requirements phase as those aspects of the cycle are reevaluated and updated. According to the research, threat intelligence has the ability to focus your organization so as to target the proper threats instead of wasting time fighting every threat, whether it pertains to your organization or not. When your organization has the ability to filter out these time consuming, non pertinent threats, this extra time allows an increase in response investigations to occur, and therefore you are able to better utilize your resources. Cyber threat intelligence allows your organization to help identify and respond to threats quicker than ever before. With regard to cyber threats, in the best interest of our cyber health, it is sometimes necessary to conduct an adversarial assessment of our top competitors. In our case, it is my opinion that Knox Attorney Services, which is largely run by CEO and COO Stephen Knox and CFO Robert Parambo, is our top competitor. Like us, they are also a California corporation registered with the California Secretary of State. As far as we are aware at this moment, their income with regards to certain clients is approximately the same. Uh, and it's my belief that they're our top competitor as they provide the same basic services such as service of process, record retrieval, etc. And they also cover the same basic areas being Los Angeles County, Orange County, San Diego County, and Sacramento County. And they also use the same portal system to disperse the work to our field technicians. Although our advantage is that we do have an online viewing option for our clients. As far as conducting the aforementioned adversarial assessment on Knox, it is my belief that it may be beneficial. When it comes to contract work, such as our DCSS and county council contracts, I do believe that we have the upper hand as we currently handle the largest 3 counties in California, which bring in over 10,000 services a year. On the other hand, with regard to private clients and other affiliated companies, such as USA Legal or Paris Law Firm, I believe Knox is equal to, if not slightly better than us in that regard. If we were able to penetrate their structure and determine how they obtain and hold on to their private clients, it could benefit us as the price per service is much higher for private clients than any of the contract work. The bottom line for our organization, as far as our cyber threat intelligence plan is concerned, is that all of our employees need to be technologically savvy and prepared for even the most basic cyber attacks. And this should be done through training protocols and requirements throughout the year. These protocols are necessary as we, as an organization, handle thousands of medical records on a daily basis, which we collect as part of an audit for one of our biggest clients. We also deal with a multitude of criminal, civil, and family law cases. Any of these files in the wrong hands could cause irreparable damage to any of these individuals. However, if the outlined steps are not taken, it would almost be like taking candy from a baby, even for the most amateur attackers. In my opinion, our biggest threats from outside attackers at our company would be the loss, theft, or damage of these files, as they include personal medical histories, current residential and business addresses for people, social security numbers, and the information on those specific criminal, civil, and family law cases, which may or may not have actually been filed in court yet. Now, due to the nature of the files which we handle on a daily basis, I believe it's most important to start from trying to protect against the most basic of cyber attacks. And in my personal experiences in my everyday email, I actually do receive numerous phishing emails. Uh, and thankfully, personally, I have received training from other organizations. However, within the team legal infrastructure, I have not received that same education. Um, and if I have received these emails, I can almost be certain that others within the organization have also received them, but it is not guaranteed that they are as educated about how to handle these types of situations. And therefore, this is one of the reasons I believe it necessary that training be implemented immediately. And now, although the phishing emails may be the most likely technique uh, as far as our in office vulnerabilities, um, I do believe that there are plenty of other ways in which an attacker could penetrate our network, including any patching issues, which will be discussed later, uh, the any network type of surveillance or malware. And due to these types of training gaps, which I have noticed, I believe that the minimum requirement should be an annual seminar and or training course be required for all employees, both in and outside of the IT department. Uh, I would prefer to suggest that quarterly seminars and training courses be implemented, as the cyber threats and ways that attackers are penetrating organizations is constantly changing. Now we're going to take a look at an attack which happened in June of 2017. Um, I believe that it is very important to analyze these types of attacks for any sort of organization, as it can show the different types of vulnerabilities and ways that attackers are able to access different organizations. So, this attack on Maersk began in June 2017, and Maersk is known as one of the world's largest container shipping companies. It has offices in over 120 countries and approximately 500 offices worldwide. This attack started as a cyber war between Russia and the Ukraine. Russia utilized the Eternal Blue and Mimikatz programs together and called it NotPetya. And they utilized a vulnerability which was an unpatched Windows issue. Now, this attack lost Maersk between 200 and $300 million. Maersk also utilized what is now known as the cyber kill chain, which is depicted to the left of the slide. Um, they started phase one, in my opinion, approximately 4.5 years prior to this attack when Russia actually began their cyber war with the Ukraine. And then phase two happened when there was an NSA breach, which ultimately ended up leaking the program Eternal Blue. And then phases three and four of this were the initiation of the attack on Maersk. It is my opinion that phases 5 through 7, if they happened, were not reported, and therefore there was no data on it. Ultimately, it is my belief that we as an organization have a lot of work to do as far as our cyber protection. There are a lot of vulnerabilities that can easily be fixed and help us protect our data and information going forward.